On tonight's show, Anthony Grancelli went to the Student Center to spotlight some Eastern students showing off their lip-syncing talent. Jack Petrucci is here with another edition of One-on-One. President Trump says for the first time yesterday that he wants the world to see the findings of the Mueller report. And Ryan Gable has the latest on Eastern sports teams. This and more on the March 21st edition of ETV News. And good evening, everyone. On this Thursday night, it's March 21st. I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Paige Matheson. Thank you so much for joining us this week on this edition of ETV News.
On Sunday, March 24th at 4 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. in the Proscenium Theater of the Fine Arts Building, the theater program at Eastern will present Africa to America, Perspective, Pride, and Power. This show depicts the struggles, determination, and triumphs of African ancestors and descendants who survived the voyage from Africa to America. This event is free and open to the public.
On March 26th, from 11 to 12:30 in the Student Center lobby, students to participate in the 1 in a Million Acts of Good program. The event is sponsored by Ellen DeGeneres and Cheerios. Participants will assemble 200 boxes of non-perishable food items that will be delivered to a Willimantic after-school program the following day. 25 boxes will go to Eastern's on-campus food pantry, Sean's Cupboard, and the rest will be going to local after-school program affiliated with Eastern Center for Community Engagement.
Recently, there was a lip-syncing event held in the Betty Tipton Room, and reporter Anthony Grancelli was there to see students participate in this fun-filled activity.
On Saturday, March 2nd, the Noble Housing staff hosted a lip-syncing night to bring students and faculty together for a fun evening of song and even a little dance. Let's see what all the commotion was about. In the Betty Tipton Room in early March, the Noble Housing staff threw together an event to bring students close and to get their mind off finals. I myself, along with many others, enjoyed the event. I got the chance to interview one of my favorite performances of the night.
Okay, this was pretty fun. I did the Joker, and I am also dressed as the Joker. I thought it would be funny. Not a lot of people laughed. It was really fun, though. I like the Steve Miller Band. I learned it from, Guitar Hero, and I thought it would be hilarious if I could throw a pin in, a pun in there.
Even a few of the RAs joined in the fun. I interviewed Amanda Lemioni and Allison Lundy, two juniors at Eastern, to see what they thought.
I had a lovely time. Everyone on stage had great energy. The RAs were having a really good time up there too. It was lovely.
It was nice to see everyone have such a good time together and enjoy themselves.
I got the chance to check up with two of the RAs who thought of the event and ask them a few questions. RAs Juwan Givens and Julia Martin brought the idea to life.
So we wanted to do something collaborative and something we can work on. So we were all having ideas and stuff. And so I was like, hey, how about we do a lip singing? So each of us contribute to it. And that's how we all got in with each other.
Juwan and I collaborated on the flyer. Wow, I can't talk. And then I created a survey monkey, simple. And Deborah and Joe helped with the tech side of it. And Uriah and Greg hosted it. So we all just contributed our own little things.
It was nice to see everyone coming and just having fun, and the fact that people can step out of their comfort zone and perform up there is just amazing. So I love seeing the Eastern community come together.
Well, it's
time to say goodbye.
I'm Anthony Grancelli reporting for ETV News.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go.
Thank you so much for joining me. Let's send it over back to Connor and Paige in the studio.
Thanks, Anthony. On March 25th, members of the LGBT community are invited to take part in an open mic night held by the Student Center Cafe at 7 p.m. You can choose to tell a story, sing a song, or recite poetry. Regardless, you will be respected and supported in sharing your truth. Even if you don't plan on performing, all you are invited to show your support.
This Saturday, March 23rd at 2 and 6 p.m. in the Studio Theater of the Fine Arts Building, Modern Movement will present their spring showcase Wanderlust, a compilation of student-produced work and guest performances by Fusion Dance Crew and Repertoire Dance Troupe. Tickets are free for Eastern students and $5 for the general public.
CAB recently hosted another event in the Student Center, and Kyle Smith was there to tell us all about it.
On Fridays, Eastern's CAB hosts events called Friday After Dark. And tonight's theme, we're going straight into the ER. On March 8th, the Student Center was transformed into a hospital to teach its students a little bit about the ER while still having fun. Zach Christensen has been a part of the campus activity board and was working this event.
So I'm pretty much just working the event, doing whatever I got to do to help him be successful.
From spin wheels to oxygen tanks, there was a little bit of everything for the students to see.
We have build your own first aid kits, a little test tube kit where you can kind of make like a lava lamp test tube type thing. We have giant operation table.
But overall, Zach thinks that this event is important for Eastern students' health.
This is going to be an awesome event just because there's a lot of people that are going to enjoy the candy that we have. There's a lot of people that come to college without first aid kits. They need those just in case they ever have any accidents or anything like that.
And even I took a shot at being a surgeon. Well, looks like I'm not going to be a doctor anytime soon. This is Kyle Smith sending you back to the studio.
Thanks, Kyle. Next Thursday, March 28th, Isra Shakir, a campaign and advocacy expert, will be speaking at Eastern. She will be speaking on the social and political issues facing humanity, while also advocating for underrepresented politicians. This event takes place in the Student Center Theater at 8 p.m.
When we come back, Jack Petrucci will be here with another installment of ETV One-on-One as he sits down with Eastern's athletic Mackenzie Mangia. Stay with us.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jack Petrucci with ETV News' One-on-One. Today, I am joined by volleyball junior Mackenzie Managia. Mackenzie, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
So let's start from the beginning. What made you come to Eastern Connecticut?
Well, basically my two options were UConn and Eastern. I'm local, I'm from Andover, and I wanted to stay close to home. And the small size of Eastern was a big draw for me. I liked the opportunity to speak one-on-one with my professors, to have 20 people in a class, and I don't think I would have been successful at UConn with the huge lectures and the ginormous campus. And then also I can play volleyball here, and I probably couldn't at D1 UConn.
So here on campus, you're involved with SAC. So just go into a little bit, what is SAC and what is your role in the group?
So SAC is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and it's a group made up of 2 representatives from each varsity athletic team. And we're dedicated to improving ourselves, the athletics department, the university, and the community. And I am the secretary for the club.
So you have the involvement here with Eastern Connecticut SAC, but you're also the Little East Conference representative for the national SAC. So kind of what's your role there, and what are some of the duties that you do at the national level there?
The biggest duty I have there is to go over the legislation. Every year the NCAA wants to enact new rules for Division III, and my job basically is to take what the NCAA gives me at National SAC and bring it back here to the Little East and kind of explain, distribute, and get the feedback from the Little East, bring it back to the national level, and tell the administrators and the presidents who actually get to vote on the legislation what the student athletes think of it.
So as touched on before, you are also a volleyball player here, a former Little East Conference champion. To add to that, how has being a student athlete impacted you here at Eastern Connecticut?
It's been probably the best thing that I've done here, because I want to go into college athletic administration as a career, and so being able to experience being an athlete and being on the other side of my hopefully future role, I think is going to be really helpful. And then also just the friendships that I've made and the connections. Again, because it's a small school, the athletes really do form their own community with the broadcasters and with the administration. We all know each other, and it's just nice to have that support.
All right, so once again, that was junior Mackenzie Managia. Mackenzie, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
President Trump, outside the White House Wednesday, says for the first time that he will be okay with the findings of the Mueller report being made public because he believes it will clear him of any wrongdoing.
I have no idea. No collusion. I have no idea when it's going to be released. It's interesting that a man gets appointed by a deputy, he writes a report. You know, never figured that one out. Man gets appointed by a deputy, he writes a report. I had the greatest electoral victory, one of them, the history of our country. Tremendous success, tens of millions of voters, and now somebody's going to write a report who never got a vote. So we'll see what the report says. Let's see if it's fair. I have no idea when it's going to be released.
But Democrats, including California Congressman Eric Swalwell, think that Trump's words shouldn't be believed.
I don't believe him because he has obstructed every step along the way. If the Mueller team has a cable package, they will have seen him obstruct on cable news nightly, almost. There's no exception to who could be so dumb that they would tell Lester Holt that they obstructed justice by firing James Comey. I also don't believe him because he won't sit down, even though he's been given the questions that investigators want to ask with the Mueller team, while others have gone under oath. And I don't believe him because he has put in place two people to be Attorney General who auditioned for the job by saying that they don't believe in the legitimacy of the Mueller investigation.
Robert Mueller's report is expected to be completed soon. The exact release date is still unknown. The report, once completed, will then be given to Attorney General William Barr, who will decide how much of Mueller's work Congress sees. Mueller's team has already indicted 34 people while during the course of their over 2-year investigation.
Prosecutors say 50 people are accused of participating in a scheme to cheat on admissions tests and admit students to colleges as athletes regardless of their abilities. The FBI investigation, codenamed Operation Varsity Blues, uncovered the massive $25 million scam. Among those charged in the case are actress Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. In the scheme, wealthy parents would send money to a faith nonprofit, and then in turn, that money would be given to the official at the school they wanted their child to attend. A number of schools were named, including the University of Southern California, Stanford, Georgetown, and Yale. This investigation has uncovered what the FBI has called the largest college admissions scam ever to be prosecuted.
Disney's acquisition of much of what was 21st Century Fox became official Wednesday morning. Under the $71 billion deal, Disney now controls Fox's movie and TV studios, as well as Fox's 30% stake in streaming giant Hulu. The move means more content for Disney, which looks to launch its own subscription streaming service later this year. What remains of 21st Century Fox will now be known as the Fox Corporation. That company will control the Fox Broadcasting Network, Fox News Channel, and dozens of local TV stations. Disney is also currently in the process of selling more than 20 Fox regional sports channels as part of the deal.
Billionaire investor Warren Buffett wants to give someone $1 million a year for the rest of their life. But there's a catch. The Berkshire Hathaway CEO is once again holding a March Madness men's college basketball bracket contest. The rules are simple. Anyone can pick the last 16 teams in the tournament will win the $1 million a year for life. But to play, you have to be an employee at Berkshire Hathaway. About 100,000 Berkshire employees completed the brackets in the previous years. Last year, not a single worker won the contest. In fact, no one got past the first round of the 68-team tournament thanks to numerous upsets. 8 employees who survived the longest split a $100,000 consultation prize.
We're going to take another quick break, and when we return, Ryan Gable will be here with an update on how Eastern sports teams did over spring break, including one Eastern team taking down the #1 team in the country. Stay with us.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. That's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Hello and welcome to this week's Sports Update. I'm Ryan Gable. The baseball team kicked off their season by heading to Florida to play 8 games. The first 3 games started off rough, losing them all to Roche and Marietta. In the next game, head coach Brian Hand picked up his first win as a Warrior head coach with an 11-4 victory over Scranton. Perhaps the most memorable game off the trip came in the very last game when the Warriors played against the #1 team in the country, Worcester College. The Warriors started off hot thanks to 2 second-inning RBI singles from Owen Marchia and Alexander White. The Warriors never looked back and went on to win 7-0 and ended their Florida trip 3-5. Alexander White was named Little East Conference Player of the Week, and senior Jordan Muchin was named Pitcher of the Week after striking out 11 batters. The Warriors will have a busy weekend hosting Albertus Magus tomorrow and a doubleheader against UMass Dartmouth on Sunday. The softball team also traveled to the Sunshine State to play 10 games. The Warriors opened their first 3 games with a bang and allowed only 3 runs. Perhaps the best game during their trip was against the University of New England, where they won 13-8 in 8 thrilling innings. This was thanks to first baseman Brooke Matisfowski, who finished with 4 RBIs on 5 at-bats. Sophomore pitcher and reigning Little East Conference Rookie Pitcher of the Year Morgan Bolduc pitched 2 innings, earning her the win to go 5-0 on the season with a 1.15 ERA. This earned her Little East Conference Pitcher of the Week. The Warriors finished the Florida trip 7-3, and their next game is in a Little East Conference doubleheader against the University of Southern Maine. The men's lacrosse team had 4 road games over break. Under the leadership of new head coach Mark Graham, the Warriors were able to win their first 2 games against Johnson Wales 10-7 and Mass Maritime 14-11. Junior Brett Shin told 8 goals in those games, earning him Little East Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Unfortunately, the Warriors did not have a strong performance in their next 2 road games and lost to LaSalle College 12-5 and Clark University 12-8. The Warriors had their home opener yesterday against Roger Williams University. Although the team lost 10-4, there were strong performances from Jacob Testa, Garrett Clapham, Matthew Rougeau, and Jake Learbitz, who all scored. Their next game will be Saturday against Plymouth State. In national sports news, New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was offered a diversion deal Monday night that would allow him to avoid prosecution if certain conditions were met. Kraft was originally charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of solicitation. He pled not guilty and was offered a deal where he would have to admit in court that he was guilty of the offenses. Kraft responded by saying that he would rather fight the charges. He's expected back in court March 28th. Earlier this week, star outfielder Mike Trout signed a record-setting 12-year, $430 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Angels. Trout will earn $35.8 million a year, making this the largest contract signed in professional sports history. Mike Trout has an extensive resume, including being a 2-time MVP, a 7-time All-Star with 240 career home runs in only 7 seasons. Let's just say after signing this contract, Mike Trout is and will be the face of the Angels for a very, very long time. And that will do it for this week's Sports Update. For more info on Eastern Athletics, visit our website at GoWarriorAthletics.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at ECSU Athletics. I'm Ryan Gable. Now let's send it back to Paige and Connor.
Thanks, Ryan. That's it for this week's show.
Thank you so much for joining us. To keep up to date with all things ETV News, make sure to follow us on Instagram at ETVnews_ and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eastern CT Television.
Also, make sure you like us on Facebook at ETV News ECSU. And if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see on the show, email us at etv@my.easternct.edu. I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Paige Matheson. We'll see you next week, Eastern.